Metanomics is brought to you by Remedy Communications and Dusan Writers Metaverse.
That's a great question, and it's one that we spend a lot of time and energy discussing. Certainly one of the great kind of innovations of Second Life was the idea that creators and residents in the world would own their own intellectual property. And that's a very kind of novel and interesting idea, and I think it's one of the things that sort of has snowballed into the economy that we're talking about today. It's also tricky because in any digital context, the notion of intellectual property is a slippery one, and it's made all the more slippery by the fact that digital artifacts can be programmatically copied and can be programmatically transferred from one IP address or one computer to another. And so certainly we have a challenge between our desire to have an open environment and an open platform for people to be expressive and creative and to innovate on that platform. And then also the obligation to our residents, whether they be merchants or consumers or just people who are creating from their own, for their own interest, to balance between those. And it's a classic problem of the needs of the few and the desire for us to make it as open a place as possible. So we take this very seriously, and we've certainly been engaged on this topic quite a lot. We've kind of started to roll out a little bit of a roadmap about how we want to manage this. And I think sort of the first thing that we're thinking about is let's actually just start to set some expectations about what is actually, what's actually expected of people. What's the norm? So we're starting to do this. One of the sort of objects of this would be or the outcomes of this would be a seller registry. So you would actually know, who was a trusted seller and who wasn't. You can start to manage that. Other things that we would be doing are more programmatic in nature, and I think that's where we've been spending a lot of our energy trying to figure out what the right both balance between those two poles are and what the right technical strategies are. But I think rest assured, we certainly feel very strongly about the rights of intellectual property creators and holders, and want to protect those as much as we can in the virtual world.